For Week 15 of the 2017 NFL season, the daily fantasy sports site DraftKings is running a $3 million fantasy football millionaire maker. FanDuel is running a $1.25 million Sunday NFL Fan Championship and a $1.2 million Sunday Million. Before you enter a daily fantasy lineup on DraftKings or FanDuel, you need to hear what professional DFS player Mike McClure has to say. McClure has more than $1 million in career DFS winnings and is rolling through the season, entering multiple lineups that have already cashed big in tournaments. Last week, he was all over Bengals running back Giovanni Bernard, a player many overlooked because of his limited usage this season. The result: Bernard absolutely went off with 17 touches for 130 yards, returning a season-high 19 DK points for the low price of just $5,300 on DraftKings. Owners who had him in their lineups were well on their way to a huge DFS payout. Now, McClure has exhaustively studied the matchups, injuries and depth charts for Sunday's slate and has again locked in his optimal NFL DFS lineup. And he's sharing it over at Sportsline. One player he absolutely loves in Week 15: Eagles quarterback Nick Foles, $6,000 on FanDuel, $5,500 on DraftKings, who will take over after the season-ending injury to Carson Wentz. McClure isn't expecting Foles to replace Wentz's productivity, but he gets an inviting warm-up game against a New York Giants team that has very little to play for. The Giants have the second-worst pass defense in the league, giving up 265.7 yards per game. They're also tied for last in passing touchdowns allowed with 26. This is a favorable opportunity for the Eagles to get Foles into a rhythm. Lock Foles in your lineup while his price is still low, and you will have plenty of room to roster a huge stud like Antonio Brown, $9,300 on FanDuel, $9,100 on DraftKings, who is playing at an unmatched level right now. Brown absolutely went off last week against a tough Ravens defense, catching 11 passes on 18 targets for 213 yards. And that was no fluke. He has been targeted at least 12 times over the past 4 weeks and piled up an insane 627 yards and 6 touchdowns during that span. Brown gets a date with New England's pass defense, which is improved but still in the middle of the pack statistically. The Patriots won't be able to key on only Brown, with weapons such as Le'Veon Bell and Juju Smith-Schuster also at the Steelers' disposal. And Dolphins wide receiver Jarvis Landry scored twice against New England on Monday night. Look for more massive numbers from Brown this week. McClure says he is easily the top overall play at receiver because of DeAndre Hopkins' tough matchup with the Jacksonville Jaguars. McClure is also targeting a tight end with a dream matchup against a secondary that has proven it can't cover that position. He knows this player is in line for huge production. Picks like these could be the difference between winning your tournaments or going home empty-handed. So who is DFS pro Mike McClure putting in his optimal DFS lineup this week? Visit Sportsline now to see the full Week 15 tournament lineup from a professional DFS player who nailed Giovanni Bernard's big performance in Week 14 and has over $1 million in career winnings, and find out